to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, July 4th, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. And happy 4th of July to all you guys out there. I believe it was Ben Franklin who said that the only thing we can be sure of is life, death, and taxes. But if you're a 212 fan planning to head out to the Texas Pro in a few weeks, which just so happens to be a place that has no state income tax, you can be pretty damn certain that you're going to get your money's worth, because Keone Pearson looks like he's about to drop the hammer on who's ever unlucky enough to share that stage with him. Every time he releases a new update, Keone looks like he's slowly putting more distance between himself and everyone else in the 212 field. And the feedback that you hear coming from people close to Keone's camp seems to hint at him being even better than what the pictures are letting on. We've talked about it over and over again about why there's so much uncertainty swirling around at the top of the division. And if a golden opportunity does happen to present itself, he might be the perfect person to step up and take advantage of it. Have you ever heard the old expression about the student surpassing the master? It's from an old writing by Plato that's gotten, changed around and attributed to all sorts of different people over the last few centuries. And I think it might be applicable right now for someone like Iain Valliere, because he looks like he's about to blow past a few of the old masters before this season is all said and done. At this point, Iain is only a few weeks away from making his season debut, and everything that we've seen from him since the start of his prep leads you to believe that he's on track to take another giant step forward towards establishing himself as one of the top 5 open bodybuilders in the world. We've seen him systematically turn things around that used to be weaknesses into strengths, which is a big part of the reason why he is where he is right now. And if he keeps trending in this positive direction, it's only a matter of time before he masters his masters. As of this morning, we're officially 2 weeks out from seeing some of the best in the business hit the stage to square off in this year's Portugal Pro. And on paper, it looks like we're going to see a lot of competition as guys battle it out for a spot in the first call-out, including Vlad Suhorochko, who looks like he's primed for battle right now. Anyone who followed Vlad during the offseason and throughout his prep has been amazed at how fast he's progressed, because in the last 2 years, he's managed to turn himself into someone who might legitimately have a superstar potential. Every so often we see a certain bodybuilder make huge jumps heading into their second season on the circuit, like we saw with Hunter Labrada and Nick Walker recently. So if Vlad is cut out of the same mold, then his show in Portugal might end up being his coming out party. And before we sign off today, we have a new update on the status of Justin Rodriguez, which probably isn't going to make you too happy if you're a Justin Rodriguez fan. Last week, Justin's team announced that they were planning to shut it down for the rest of the season, which means that we were not going to see him on an Olympia stage later this year. According to reports, it seems like this was a collaborative decision made between Justin and his team, who both decided that the best thing for him in the long term would be to give his body a chance to rest and recover before transitioning into the first phase of his off-season program, which will ultimately give him an opportunity to make the sort of improvements that he needs to come back next year and put himself in a position to perform at even a higher level. Over the last 2 or 3 years, Justin's consistently come into the year having made some pretty significant strides, so there's no reason not to believe that he won't do the same thing again this time around. So if we do get a bigger and better version of Justin to begin the year in 2023, that should make him a prime candidate to push for an Arnold Classic title if that's the direction he decides to go in. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.